Tonight at 12 News exclusive, a state lawmaker describes a new attempt by former President Donald Trump to pressure Wisconsin Republicans to decertify the state's presidential results. 12 News' Matt Smith is joining us now live. Matt, the new account is coming from Assembly Speaker Robin Vos.
Vos telling us in an interview for Upfront, Trump called him last week just after the Wisconsin Supreme Court ruling declaring absentee ballot drop boxes illegal in the state. That phone call happening, then Vos says Trump blasting him on social media. When's the last time you talked to the former president, President Trump?
Within the last week.
Within the last week?
Yeah.
Before or after he tweeted about you?
Before.
And what was that conversation like?
It's one of those that it's very consistent. He makes his case, which I respect. He would like us to do something different in Wisconsin. I explained that it's not allowed under the Constitution. He has a different opinion, then he put the tweet out. So that's it. Yeah.
The former president's most recent attempt to pressure Wisconsin Republicans to decertify Wisconsin's 2020 results, now coming after the Wisconsin Supreme Court ruled the use of absentee ballot drop boxes is illegal.
The court case, as you read it, does not go back and say what happened in 2020 was illegal. It just says going forward it can't happen.
The answer not appearing to satisfy the former president, so he took to social media. Vos, a longtime professional rhino, Republican in name only, always looking to guard his flank, will be doing nothing about the amazing Wisconsin Supreme Court decision, Trump said. The Democrats would like to sincerely thank Robin and all of his fellow rhinos for letting them get away with murder. How would you describe your relationship with him? Because after he comes out and calls you a rhino and saying you're allowing Democrats to get away with murder.
Yep, I mean, I think we all know Donald Trump is Donald Trump. There's very little that we can do to try to control or predict what he will do.
And Matt, the influence of the former president is important here because Speaker Vos is facing a Republican primary challenger.
A rarity in this district, Patrick, and a challenger who says Vos hasn't done enough after the 2020 election.
Tonight, national reaction to a 12 News exclusive. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos revealing a recent phone call from former President Donald Trump pushing to overturn Wisconsin's presidential results. 12 News' Matt Smith broke the story. Tonight, he has more on the potential interest from the January 6th committee.
Tonight, the national headlines and reaction. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos exclusively revealing to 12 News former President Donald Trump called him within the past week, pushing to overturn Wisconsin's presidential results after the state Supreme Court ruled absentee ballot drop boxes illegal.
It is striking in the context of the January 6 hearings ongoing through this week. It's striking in the context of the midterm elections.
I think Donald Trump is a major factor in the Republican Party.
Vos on the campaign trail in an interview for Upfront, detailing the call. What was that conversation like?
It's one of those that it's very consistent. He makes his case, which I respect. He would like us to do something different in Wisconsin. I explained that it's not allowed under the Constitution.
The Republican Assembly Speaker now facing a Republican primary challenger himself and a rebuke on social media from Trump.
I can't just snap my fingers or wish that I could have somehow decertified the election. It's unconstitutional, which is why it's never been done.
All this tonight is the January 6th committee now preparing for a primetime hearing Thursday night.
I'd imagine this is something that will get their interest. I'd be surprised if it doesn't come up in some line of inquiry, if not at the public hearings. It's part and parcel of the broader campaign that the president had to try to undermine the election. And the fact that it's ongoing right now, I think that just underscores a central tenet of the January 6th committee.
Speaker Vos also noting the Supreme Court decision doesn't look back at the 2020 election, only noting drop box.
House committee investigating the January 6th Capitol riot subpoenaed Wisconsin Assembly Speaker Robin Vos.
The subpoena follows a 12 News exclusive interview where Vos spoke about a call he had with former President Donald Trump. Vos said the former president called him in another attempt to convince Wisconsin Republicans to decertify the state's 2020 presidential election results. Speaker Vos was supposed to testify in front of the House committee today, but his attorneys filed a lawsuit questioning a 2-day notice and claiming the subpoena goes beyond the scope of the investigation. Today's deposition was later canceled, but the subpoena still stands. Another House committee hearing is set to be televised Wednesday.
Now to several breaking developments we're following tonight involving the January 6th committee. The committee has subpoenaed Assembly Speaker Robin Vos. 12 News' Matt Smith is live in the newsroom. And Matt, at federal court here hearing about that wrapped up this afternoon.
Joyce, tonight Speaker Voss is suing in an attempt to not testify before the January 6th committee about a phone call with former President Donald Trump.
First at 6, new fallout from a 12 News exclusive. Assembly Speaker Robin Voss testifying today before the January 6th committee.
12 News' Matt Smith live in the newsroom tonight. Matt, today's interview happening in private.
Patrick, in a new statement tonight, Speaker Voss to us confirming today's closed-door deposition, calling his meeting brief. Voss first suing to block this meeting from ever happening in the first place. Today, participating, all the result of revelations he first made to us. The high-profile deposition months in the making. 12 News learning Assembly Speaker Robin Voss in the January 6th committee meeting virtually Wednesday in what could be the committee's final interview. Afterwards, Voss saying in a statement, "I did not have any involvement with the events of January 6, 2021. My meeting with the Select Committee was brief, and I answered their questions regarding Wisconsin's 2020 presidential election." Chairman Benny Thompson first issuing the subpoena to Voss in September in response to an exclusive 12 News interview. And what was that conversation like?
It's one of those that it's very consistent.
Voss here for the first time detailing a summer phone call with former President Donald Trump, where Trump pressured Voss to overturn Wisconsin's 2020 presidential results. In court filings, the committee making clear it's that phone call and Voss's interaction with Trump it's interested in as the committee investigates the former president's efforts to undermine the election.
And Matt, you mentioned Speaker Voss had sued to stop this interview.
He filed a federal lawsuit in federal court. Unknown tonight what prompted the change today. Tonight, the January 6th committee now preparing its final report by the end of the year with potential recommendations to lawmakers and the Justice Department.
Begin with a push by rapper and businessman Kanye West for Battleground Wisconsin. A team is on the ground in Milwaukee tonight working to collect signatures. 12 News' Matt Smith is live downtown. Matt, this is an effort to get his name on the ballot.
Patrick, he would need 2,000 signatures by tomorrow at 5 o'clock, along with an official filing with state election officials. Neither of those have been done at this point, but tonight at this hour, several dozen people from out of state are in Milwaukee to try and make that happen.
This is a local petition out here that we are doing for the state of Wisconsin. This is for Kanye West.
Micah Marchbank says he arrived in Milwaukee from California Saturday.
This is an unusual petition.
As part of the organization, Let the Voters Decide, a group hired by Kanye West's campaign.
$1 a signature to harass and annoy people.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
To launch an 11th-hour effort in store parking lots and wherever to collect thousands of signatures to get on Wisconsin's November ballot for president.
People are stunned. They don't think I'm serious.
Why'd you sign it?
Because I support the movement.
Neither the organization nor campaign would talk about the effort on the record. In fact, at one location, they asked us to leave. But the Tuesday deadline is fast approaching. At least 2,000 signatures needed and implications if they're collected. In a state, President Trump won by not even 23,000 votes.
It's easy to dismiss Kanye for president, given the conflicting signals, given the wild public appearances, the tweet storms that appear to reflect someone that may not even be mentally stable, much less a candidate. But the fact is, if he is on the ballot in battleground states like Wisconsin, it's a very big deal.
Matt, is Kanye West working to get on other state ballots?
There is an effort underway in Ohio tonight as well. That deadline is Wednesday. The campaign has collected signatures in other states. Reports, though, Patrick, indicate a lot of those signatures are being challenged.
Matt Smith leading us off live at 10 tonight. First, 12 News investigates new controversy surrounding rapper and businessman Kanye West's attempt to get on the Wisconsin ballot in November. 12 News' Matt Smith was the only reporter in Madison when campaign workers dropped off signatures at tonight's 5 o'clock deadline. Matt?
Patrick, tonight election officials say that petition is pending. At least 2,000 valid signatures would be needed as new questions arise tonight about whether some Republicans are helping Kanye West get on the ballot. Minutes before the 5 p.m. deadline, the SUV pulls up. 12 News is the only camera there. Inside, a shuffle of nomination papers for Kanye West, forced to call election officials since the building is closed and eventually emerging. How many signatures did you collect? Walking in seconds after 5 p.m. and escorted to the commission's third-floor offices. Can someone come down and let us up?
Yeah, I'll be right down.
Thank you. Minutes later, 12 News was asked to leave. So they are submitting petitions. for a public campaign, and we cannot get video of that.
They're in our office, which is closed right now.
Okay. And the woman submitting the petitions, anything on signatures or who you guys are, didn't answer any questions on the way out. But tonight, 12 News has confirmed that's Lane Ruland, a Madison attorney who has worked for the Wisconsin GOP and RNC. The New York Times is also reporting on a handful of Republican aides in other states working to get Kanye West on the ballot, raising new questions about the campaign's purpose. As 12 News exclusively showed you last night,
This is just to help put his name on the ballot so that, you know, he can run for office.
the campaign hired the firm Let the Voters Decide to collect signatures in Milwaukee in an 11th hour effort to get on Wisconsin's ballot.
Matt, are Republicans responding to any of tonight's developments?
Patrick, in a statement late tonight to 12 News, the state Republican Party says it appears Kanye West's campaign made a smart decision by hiring an experienced attorney. All eyes tonight on the Democratic frontrunners. How are you feeling, Mr. Vice President?
I'm feeling good.
Like former Vice President Joe Biden here in Des Moines. What do you need to do tonight, Mr. President?
Do well, but don't poke that in my face like that, okay? All right?
Back up, come on.
That's okay. How are you, man?
Gableman, now an attorney at the conservative Thomas More Society, not wanting to elaborate. So you spent a year investigating election fraud, and it's good to see you as well. But you spent a year investigating election fraud.
Tape to see what I
Let me
said
ask you
about
why now you're
No.
why no. Let me ask you though, why now are you representing someone who has admitted to committing election fraud?
You know, it is a beautiful day out there, isn't it?
But in terms of investigating fraud for the past year, how do you defend someone now who is admitted to committing election fraud?
Really should go into door-to-door sales because persistence is such a key part.
It started as the crowd went wild for Bobby Portis.
Bobby, how's it feel, baby? How's it feel?
It feels great.
It feels great.
I feel good.
Bucks and six.
Bucks and six.
Let's do this.
We did it.
Amidst tens of thousands of screaming fans,
Here we go, PJ Tucker.
the toss and the mic catch live on WISN
I
12.
feel good. This is unreal, man. Look at all these people, man. 50 years. 50 years, man. I heard about it every day in the barbershop, at Subway. Everybody here. It's crazy. I'm just happy to be a part of it. Jeff, you want to say something? I got Jeff T. Jeff T gonna say something. Jeff T.
And then the championship-style pass down the bus.
I feel good. Chris, I want to talk to you right here. Oh, we want to talk to you. Chris Middleton busy, man. Hey, thank you, though. We love you!
The bus is filled with players, coaches, and owners.
Can you catch?
Bucks president Peter Fagan on top of the city and the world.
Are you kidding me, Milwaukee? Let's go, Bucks! Let's go, Bucks! Let's go, Bucks! Let's go, Bucks!